Ekerete being the first name, and I'm a civil servant. What else do I do? I'm a program analyst with the state government of Kano State. And this conversation is about COVID-19 awareness, and particularly my own story. I'm a survivor of COVID-19, having beat the sickness a couple of weeks ago. I started feeling feverish and a bit sick on the 27th of June, and I felt it was malaria. And like we normally do around here, I got some malaria tabs just to beat the malaria and the feverish feel. But by the 27th, the 29th and 30th, it was growing worse. And by the 1st of July, it kept returning. By then, the prescription that I was given had finished. So I now went back to get diagnosed again, and the guy told me it could possibly have been typhoid. Now gave me drugs for typhoid. That still didn't help. By the 5th of July, I had already exhausted 2 sets of drugs, and I was still sick. On the 6th, I lost all manner of strength, weakness setting. My temperature was still on the rise. I was very weak. I couldn't stand up from the bed. I couldn't do anything for myself. It was my wife who practically helped me do everything, even plus force feeding me and dragging me to the bathroom to bathe me and all of that. And on the 7th, she dragged me to the hospital, government hospital to be specific in you. And I was diagnosed and then told to go to Assiak for malaria COVID-19 tests, just to eliminate the possibility that it is COVID-19 or to treat COVID-19 if it is. That's how I went for the test on the 7th of July, and on the 8th of July the test result returned and it was positive. Polymerase chain reaction, PCR, they basically have this long sticks, the swabs. They put it in your nose and put it in your mouth just to get samples. I think that should be from your nose and from your mouth, from your throat particularly. And then whatever they do afterwards is just for the professionals to know. Lack of knowledge. Basically, people are scared of what they do not know. People are scared of what they have not experienced. People are scared. Basically, when someone doesn't know what it is going to be like, there's always the apprehension on the part of whoever is supposed to go through something. I think that's why people are scared. Some have even told me that I am lying about my story, and I wish them luck, and I just wish they never get to suffer it. But going back to the question, why do people think the government is lying? It is just lack of trust on the part of the people. Many people find government difficult to believe. Many people, different reasons. I don't want to say illiteracy, because most educated people do not want to believe. They think something somewhere is fishy. Conspiracy theories aren't helping either. Religion also isn't helping sometimes. Basically, all manner of fears. It's still somehow a bit funny how some dude in China got entangled with some animal, or got entangled with some virus out there, and before long the entire world had to go and shut down because somebody in one remote part of the earth did what he was not supposed to do. But then it is what it is. We need to know there is a danger walking out there, and it is real. As many as possible, people need to be told, to be taught, and to be made to believe. I got a call, and the person asked me if I'm Ekerete Assiak. I said yes. He told me he's calling me from COVID-19 center. It took him back. He asked if I had taken the test the day before. I told him yes. So he said, okay, he called to tell me that my test is positive. I told him, thank you, I'm blessed. Yeah, I said I'm blessed because it's good to know. At that time, I was hanging on a thread between life and death, and I did not know what I was fighting. I was suspicious, is it malaria? Because the doctor had said enteric malaria. So I had read up on what enteric malaria is. I was also thinking, is it pneumonia? Something I've been exposed to in the past. And I had also looked up pneumonia. Pneumonia and COVID-19 are cousins anyways, first cousins. So if you look that up on Google, you find out they have very similar symptoms. So I was like, so what am I fighting? By then I already bought drugs for, I already got a prescription and bought drugs for pneumonia. But I was skeptical about taking them because I didn't know if I'm going to take medication for the wrong sickness while something else is hitting me. So I just needed to know exactly what I was facing so I could face it head on. Staying without taking medication, staying without something to help me was not helping me because at that point life was fading away. So when I was told it's COVID-19, it was a relief. At least I knew what I was fighting. Being unable to breathe is just something else. I don't think anybody would be comfortable staying an entire day unable to breathe, and then you're not fixing it. You're unable to breathe. You're weak, so weak. There's diarrhea running in your system, and anything you eat, you basically throw. So you drink water to try and give yourself some strength, you throw it up. You try taking medication, you throw it up. It's just crazy. And the fact that I wasn't breathing, I mean, that's not life. That's me dying. If it is not stopped. Sorry to say it, so we received it. Somehow I think the facility was shut down at that one point in time. I don't know. Maybe there were no more cases for some time, and then maybe the doctors had thought, okay, this thing has been defeated in Akwa Ibom, so we can all go on break. Because when they called me and told me I was positive, I asked them, okay, so what's next? The guy just said, hold on for a second, I'll call you back. He dropped the phone, then called me back about 30 seconds after to give me a prescription of what I should take. I asked him, aren't you guys coming for me, or should I bring myself? He was very open and clear with me that there is no patient in the facility, that the facility had been shut down as at that time. But however, he was going to reach out to somebody who's supposed to know what to do and then see if the facility will be reopened for me, and maybe just me alone. I don't know if I was a lone case or what, I can't tell. To the 9th of July, my health has really deteriorated. Even though I had taken medication, but then one particular medication, I'm not going to mention it here because of I don't want to be seen as prescribing. One particular medication I couldn't find it on the 8th. I had to start scouting around. My wife was running around looking for the medication, and then I only got it on the 9th. On the same 9th, afraid that I might die without my family knowing why, I had made calls to my brothers and my sisters, informing everybody I was down, how things were bad with me, how things were going. My immediate younger brother started making calls to everybody also within the state that he knows, putting pressure on doctors. That's when the hospital called me again. to inquire of me how my health was, because my new younger brother was violently the pressure on them. Uh, when they heard it was that terrible, an ambulance was promised. Okay, and that ambulance is lost in translation, anyways. I don't know the color of the ambulance because I've not seen it yet. It's a funny one. So that day passed, I got the last medication at night, and I started taking that medication. Like I have already said on Facebook, on my page, or my account, my Facebook account, that medication also comes with side effects that are almost similar to the symptoms of COVID-19. It causes diarrhea, it makes you weak, it also makes you rich. So COVID-19 is causing diarrhea, the medication is causing diarrhea, COVID-19 is making you vomit, the medication is making you vomit. COVID-19 is making you weak, the medication is making you weak. So it became Promax of the entire symptoms. By then, I was now in contact with my cousin, a medical doctor in Ghana, who asked to know what medications have been given, and then also asked that I should take some steroids. But then the doctors in Nigeria said no, I shouldn't take them. Well, I don't know. I think the practice differs between countries. So, but then basically, I think about the best thing she did for me was ask me to get the pulse oximeter, which I purchased. I could tell that my SpO level had gone so low. For 3 straight days, I was recording 87 on the SpO2 level, or on the pulse oximeter. I shouldn't be alive, I think. That was enough to kill me. By Saturday, 10th of July, was Saturday 10th or so? Yeah, I think so. I was looking for oxygen to buy. That's how I got in contact with the Tumbang again. I asked them to bring oxygen to me. The doctor that I was talking to said he was going to come to my house to see me. An ambulance will come. The second time an ambulance was promised. The ambulance still hasn't come. The oxygen didn't come. I don't know. I don't know if it was a case of maybe I wasn't being taken serious. I don't know. I can't tell. But by Sunday, the following day, Sunday, I had regained a little bit of strength, though I was still weak. By this time, the medication I was taking was also acting funny. Once it gets to the time I take medication in the morning, if I don't take it, my body reacts as if I am an addict to some drug. I mean, I'll be itching for the drug at that time. I don't know. It was strange in some kind of way. My body needed the medication at that time, so if I don't have it, my body will behave funny. I'll be itching, I'll be twitching, I'll be all manner of things. I just needed water all the time. So I had to switch from drinking cold water to warm water. I had a flask by me all the time. The flask always had to be refilled. Nobody came near me. My children were not allowed to come near me. I was separated from the house. Not even my wife came near me anymore. It was not good for my mental state. So I had to fight this battle on many levels. I was fighting to keep my sanity. I was fighting to keep my health, and I was fighting to stay alive for my kids and my wife. All through the time I was sick, I was in my house. My kids quite didn't understand why they couldn't go play with daddy. Daddy normally lies on the floor and rolls with them all the time. But daddy was secluded, daddy was locked away in a room, daddy was not allowed to go near them. and they too weren't allowed to go near daddy. They didn't understand why, and it was breaking. I think the most reason I had tears in my eyes throughout that period was seeing my kids and not being able to touch them. My wife, at first, when she heard the news, she broke down in tears. I just had to caution her that no, as long as I'm alive, nobody's allowed to cry. You can only cry when I'm dead, and that is not scheduled for the next 40, 50 years. So, I think when she heard my own words, she just picked up strength, and then she was very strong throughout. After that, she was very prayerful and very strong throughout. But then we had to get some sanitizers, methylated spirits, bottles that could help us spray the house, just to keep the house clean all the time. We got a lot of cotton materials to help us, or to help clean other surfaces, so that if my wife is to touch the door, she sprays some spirits on the door, cleans it first before opening the door, and all of that. And then face masks everywhere. Everybody had to go on face mask in the house. Surfaces were always cleaned at all times with methylated spirits. Hand washing became compulsory, and everybody in the house was also placed on medication at that period. Everybody in the house was also, because it was okay. Everybody was like suspected to have been exposed. Okay, yeah, having been exposed. Everybody needed to go on medication. Plus my children, they had to go on medication. My wife and my kids, and then my wife's sister who was with us. We all were on medication, and we all had to inhale steam from time to time to ensure that no other person falls ill. And that was a good precautionary measure because no other person has fallen ill in my house. Okay, so between the 7th of July to the 14th of July were the very days I would say were the worst. But from the 14th, I was able to stand up, to move around. I could even do press-ups. I remember doing 10 press-ups. Yeah, I could walk in a straight line without wobbling and almost falling over. I could attempt to lift carry things, or probably try to attempt to help in the house. Though at that point it was still not safe because I was still a sick person. But I could at least help do one or two things. I could lift water to bathe myself and all of that. Before, which were things I couldn't do. 8th, 9th, and 10th of July I was afraid. I was scared to even close my eyes and sleep. I wasn't sure if it would be my last sleep or if I would wake up. With an HP of 87, I have reasons to be afraid. I really told myself, look, you have to be awake and know when death is coming. I felt I should know what it feels like. The moment I was about to die, I should know how it feels like to die. So I just didn't want to sleep. I didn't want to die in my sleep. I wanted to be awake when I'm dying, to know I'm dying. Prior to the time I fell ill, I was among those who had thrown caution to the wind, believing we had overcome COVID-19. Possibly theories of herd immunity and all of that. COVID-19 wasn't really that affecting people anymore. We attended all manner of events, from weddings to funerals, birthday parties, hangouts, normal daily events and activities without observing COVID-19 safety protocols. And I became a victim simply because somewhere along the line, I had thrown caution to the wind. And I know many of them are still living in that same ignorance. Many, even with knowledge, have thrown caution to the wind because they feel, okay, it's not going to happen again to me. I won't fall ill. Nothing's going to happen to me. So, I shared my story because I needed to alert Akwa Ibomites. I needed to alert everybody that look, out there in this state, on our streets, in our bars, in our marriage and burial and other ceremonies we hold, in our churches, in the marketplaces, in schools, wherever we find ourselves being careless, we are only opening ourselves up to the possibility of getting infected. This virus needs to be stopped. This sickness needs to be stopped. It needs to be contained. And we cannot stop it if we do not have conscious effort by everybody to stop it. That's why I also lent my voice to tell people, sit up. COVID-19 is real. It is with us and it's on the increase.